I already got the fluids drain, coolant, oil. You're gonna need to take off the exhaust, whole thing. Disconnect that sensor right there on the transfer case, and disconnect the starter. Take that apart, and then you're gonna want to come up front and take out 4 of these hex bolts. I forgot the sizes, but I'll update them later on in the video. And then I'm gonna let it down and show the front portion of it. All right, this is the part I was talking about. It's a hex, and it's is it an 8? Yeah, it's an 8 for the front drive shaft. You're gonna have to hammer it on there a little bit. May not you know, fit in there snug all the way, but yeah, you just it's 4 of them, 1, 2 in that corner up there, and then that's the 4th one right there. And then while you're down here, you can go ahead and take out 1, 2, 3, and then the starter bolts right here, which should be 2 14s, and then the starter the starter bolt on the transmission, it's 2 of them, 14, and then the starter nut, it's a 13. And then once you take all of those out along the transmission, you got should be 4 17 mils up there, and then you got a 17 mil right there. And then if you're doing the all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive swap, you're gonna need a rear-wheel drive transmission bell housing. That way the starter lines up on this side instead of the driver's side, and that should keep you from having to swap your oil pans. As you can see, I don't have the axles on these, but I'm gonna upload tomorrow, and I'll be taking out the front axles and showing you. You just keep this part to keep the wheel hub together. So yeah. Also, when you're taking off the exhaust head bolts, for the cats, gonna want to come up top and take that top one out so it'll be easier. Now I'm about to take apart these 4 bolts on each side to take the whole frame off and get everything else out of the way. Gonna show you the part where I take apart the 4 torque converter bolts, and I'll be back when this is off. All right, I'm moving on, taking out the axles here. So you're gonna need a 32 for this nut, and to take off this locking pin, and then just unbolt this and hit the frame of the control arm, knock it down, and just get a bungee cord to hold it or something while you take the axle out. You're gonna take a pry bar, slide it in between the subframe and pop it out. And then the other side, it's same deal, but it's a couple 10 mil bolts, 2 on each of the grooves when you turn it. And also, when you're getting ready to take out the trans, well, I'm not taking out my trans, I'm just pulling the motor apart. You're gonna go up in here. It's gonna be like a little locking plate, and it's gonna be 4 14 mil bolts, and you'll have to get somebody to turn the crank while you take them out. And this is what that little plate looks like. It's held in by a 10 mil, and then I'll get back in a second to take off the front core support. All right, so yeah, it was these 2, those 2, and then it was 2 in this corner down here, 2 in this corner over here, and also for the headlight bolts, it was 1, 2, 3, and then 2 on each side. 1 on each side. And as far as the wiring goes, just make sure you feed it out properly. I got the front end apart. Just take out there should be 3 10 mils with this hanging on to the actual bracket over there, and then make sure you got something to catch all your transmission fluid from that top hose there and that bottom hose. And then yeah, I'm about to get ready to take the torque converter bolts out. I already disassembled the fuel rail and the manifold. I'm taking out the motor like this. I'm using the manifold bolt, so one goes here on each side. I'll just do it when I'm about to get ready to take it out, and then I'm about to go ahead and start taking these transmission bolts out up here, and then show you that sensor you need to unplug on the transmission, and then I'll show you what it looks like out of the car. I went ahead and moved on to the next part on the motor. I already took it out. There it goes over there. You're gonna run into a couple issues getting the transmission out. Since it's all-wheel drive, it had where is it? This bracket on here. It's kind of hard to see. You're gonna have to go in between the fender wall and look in between here, and it's gonna be another bolt inside the transmission right there, attached to the bracket, with a 10 going into the bracket, and then a 17 going through there. You'll see it, but you just gotta just get a extended ratchet with a deep socket 17 with a just a small extension, a 3/8 extension, nothing too big, but just slide it in between here above the compression arm or below it, one of the two, but just gonna slide it in, and then just, you know, you're just gonna have to work and twist it out. Make sure you take off all the clips going back to your transmission so you don't have anything breaking. I actually broke I think one of my temp sensors on the back of this coolant pipe, so whenever you get ready to pull it out, just make sure you got all the harnesses disconnected, that way you don't break nothing. But I'm gonna go ahead and get everything else ready, and unless you got a rear-wheel drive front knuckles, you're gonna have to either cut or smash these stubs out for the outer axles. That way these will hold your wheel hub in, because you do need them if you're not gonna swap the knuckles. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up tomorrow and, you know, start it up.